Okay, so example here, there's a 3 parts in this example. First part says sketch the graph of the cubic function f of x equals x cubed plus 2. Now this is a quite nice actually equation function, so we can actually think about this. This is what it goes through the origin 0, 0, but it's going up by 2. So I'm going to do this part A first. So here we go. I'm going to put A here, and it will just roughly. Now I've done it very rough sketch here, but I'm hoping you will use ruler and scale it properly, and looks much better than what I'm doing right now. Okay, so here it is. I'm gonna go, it's going through 0, but it's gone up by 2, right? So it'll look like something like this. Okay, from 0, and it's 2 right there. Okay, because it pushed up by 2. From 0, pushed up by 2. So now I'm going to name this graph. So what is it? F of x equals x cubed plus 2, because it pushed up. Now, because it pushed up, it's going to cut through x-axis. So it'll be x-intercept, wouldn't it? How do you find x-intercept? Let me see. We're going to make y equals 0, aren't we? But y is what? F of x. They're same. So I'm going to put 0 equals x cubed plus 2. Now x cubed equals minus 2. X equals minus 2 cubed. Now, if you use your calculator, you put that in, what would you get? Let me see. I'm just doing it now. Cubed minus 2. I will get minus 1.2599 dot dot dot, and then x will be minus 1 point, roughly minus 1.3, something like that. Okay, so that's what I've got. So this is for part A. Now I'm going to push up, and I'm going to do part B. Okay, so part B. Part B was a state its domain and range. So domain will be, what was the graph look like? It was, I'm going to sketch it here again, roughly. It was like this. Now this is a function, okay, as the title says, cubic function. So it's all real x, okay, all real x. So what was the notation? Interval notation, all real x. Okay, now the range will be, what will be the range? It hits every single y values, whatever the x value is. So it'll be also all real values, y values. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. Now C, it says solve. Now when the question says solve it, you have to find the values of pronumerals, which is x here. So I'm going to do, I'm going to move this one a little bit so that you can see better. 2 equals 0. Okay, so I'm going to move this minus 2, and then, now some students might have question, how do I do this? So I'm going to show you the simplest way of doing this is I need to make it power of 1 here, okay, because we want what x equals. We don't want x cube equals. So if I do cube here, how do I make 1, power of 1? I will have to times by 1/3 to make it the power of 1. So I'm going to do the same thing, whatever you do, because it's the equation, you see. So you've got to do the same thing on the right-hand side to the left-hand side. Now, as you can see, 2, it's got a 1 here. We can't see it, but it's there. So, and then I'm going to do the same thing, 1 over 3. Okay? That way, what I have now is x to the power of 1, but we don't write a 1, power of 1. Now, what is that? Do you remember the power of x to the power of 1/3? Yeah? Is equal to cube root, isn't it? Yep. So I'm going to do the same thing right there. And don't panic about the negative here. Now, only it's impossible to have a negative inside square root, not the cubic root, square root. Cubic root is okay. Now, when you put that in your calculator, you will get minus 1.3 roughly. Okay, that's what your answer is. So what that really means is that solve the equation x cubed plus 2 equals 0 graphically. Now, I'm going to push down a bit and then we're going to the part A, that if you sketch this graph nicely on a grid paper, roughly you will see it minus 1.3 on your grid paper. That's what it means. But to be 100% sure what exactly that value might be, we can just solve this first algebraically, and then we can check that with graph. Okay, so what does that mean? From the graph, the x-intercept, because it's x value, is approximately minus 1.3. So the root of x cubed plus 2 equals 0 is approximately x equals minus 1.3. Remember, x-intercept, where it cuts x-axis, is actually its root. Okay, solution. So the solution or root of this cubic function is roughly minus 1.3.